It's been north of a year since the Johnny Depp and Golden Herd maligning case began. Now it's been finished off, and the two players have headed out in a different direction and continued on from the fight in court, despite the fact that the Aquaman entertainer guarantees that she didn't confess to the cases made by Depp, and neither did she settle since she was to blame. Plainly, Golden had no other decision than to yield since the conclusion of the case. Many are considering what the two players have been doing, particularly Herd, who fans think failed, and is experiencing the repercussions of the occurrence. We should hear directly from the source and figure out how Golden Herd's life has been after the preliminary. Will we the emotional broadcast preliminary of Golden Herd and Johnny Depp's criticism case started in April 2022 and finished in June of that very year. The seven-man jury who consistently controlled the case for Depp likewise found the two players responsible for criticism in the claims against one another. Johnny was granted an amount of $10 million in compensatory harms and $5 million in reformatory harms. Herd then again was granted to amount of $2 million in compensatory harms and nothing in corrective harms. Before all of this, what precisely occurred between the pair? The two American entertainers, Golden Herd and Johnny Depp, were once seeing someone kicked off more than quite a while back. They met during the recording of the Rum Journal, a film variation that depends on the novel composed by Tracker S. Thompson in 2009. Johnny assumed the part of Paul Kemp, who was a writer that became fixated on Chino, a person played by Herd. When he moved to Puerto Rico, the entertainers steadily turned out to be exceptionally close and begun dating in 2012. That was that very year that cut off his 14-year friendship with Vanessa Spoof. Obviously, things got quite blushing between Devin Herd on the grounds that main 2 years into the relationship, Johnny proposed to the Aquaman entertainer. Herd was spotted wearing a wedding band, and the couple later affirmed their commitment to the day-to-day. Meanwhile, the next year, Golden and Profundity secured the bunch in a confidential service. Yet the marriage wasn't so much as a year in before another spread that there was inconvenience in heaven, very much like that it was the start of a drawn-out dramatization of allegations in court preliminaries between the couple. In May 2016, Golden petitioned for legal separation and got a controlling request against Depp. She guaranteed that Depp had been exceptionally harmful and touchy during their relationship. During the sum of our relationship, Johnny Depp has been loudly and genuinely harmful to me. He has a short breaker, he is many times distrustful, and his attitude is uncommonly terrifying for me, Golden said in a sworn statement. She composed different things about Johnny Depp, also saying that she resided in feeling of dread toward him returning home, as he would threaten her truly and sincerely. The entertainer likewise mentioned that delegate made to go to outrage the board classes for an entire year, yet that was at last denied. Depp's reaction to group's allegations was trying to claim ignorance, as he guaranteed that he never attacked Golden. Thus, the police didn't squeeze charges against the privateers of the Caribbean entertainer. During this period, the couple had mutually declared that they had both settled their separation, saying our relationship was seriously energetic and on occasion unpredictable, yet consistently limited by adoration. Golden additionally added that she planned to give anything that continues she got from the settlement to good cause. The separation was finished in 2017. And the next year, Golden was uncovered to have composed a commentary for the Washington Post in view of misuse. She discussed her involvement in maltreatment from her young life to adulthood. In The Prophet, the entertainer composed "I turned into a person of note," addressing homegrown maltreatment. And I felt the overwhelming power of our way of life's fury for ladies who stand up. She likewise incorporated the entire vain behaviors and asked that ladies support each other while offering her viewpoints about the viciousness against Ladies Act. Nobody should have been informed that Golden's article was alluding to Johnny as her aggressor during adulthood, albeit the entertainer never unequivocally said Johnny's name. The entertainer then sued his ex for slander, guaranteeing that Herd was simply attempting to make good press for herself. He likewise added that rather than the allegations which Heard had been publicizing, he was really the casualty for the situation, and not the culprit for this. Johnny sued Heard and requested $50 million in punitive fee sources. Additionally say that the paper office, The Sun, had additionally distributed an article that alluded to Johnny Depp as a spouse blender. The entertainer burned through no time in suing the organization, and its chief proofreader Dan wouldn't so much for a marking against him. While Heard was in the middle of putting forth attempts to depict Depp as the miscreant, however, Laterra got his ex-accomplice Vanessa Paradis to affirm in support of himself spoof, let the court know that Johnny Depp is the furthest thing from a brutal individual. The entertainer additionally blamed her for having illicit relationships with tech tycoon Elon Musk and James Franco, an entertainer, while adding that crowd was extremely rough towards him during all of this. Johnny lost a ton of arrangements and was approached to leave a few foundations. He posted on Instagram that he'd been approached to leave the Fabulous Monsters establishment. I wish to tell you that I've been approached to leave by Warner siblings for my job as Grindelwald in Phenomenal Monsters, and have regarded and consented to that demand. He wrote in the post. The Johnny Depp neighbor Heard criticism preliminary started in 2022 when the two players showed up in the Fairfax District Court, situated in Virginia. It took them 3 entire months before the jury came to a decision that reasoned that Golden maligned, demised the Charlie and the Chocolate production line entertainer, was satisfied to get his life back. Once the preliminary reached a conclusion, Heard then again asserted that she was devastated by the jury's choice, considerably more disheartened with how this decision affects different ladies. She said in a proclamation, while adding that the choice of the court was a gigantic misfortune on savagery against ladies' life. After the preliminary was great for Johnny Depp, who showed up at the MTV Video Music Grants and appeared as the Moon Man. He's additionally said that he's set to coordinate a film named Mottigliani, without precedent for 25 years. Yet it appears to be that even as of now Harmed still hasn't surrendered. Sources say that she recorded a brief to pursue the choice of the jury in November of that very year. More than 130 individuals, including different homegrown sexual savagery and ladies' privileges promotion associations, collaborated to help Heard. Yet the entertainer was not given a listening blunder, as she chose to pull out the allure on the 12th of December. The Aquaman entertainer has since been hiding out. Sources found as of late that Heard was found in Madrid, Spain, where she's been staying under the radar. This were said Golden has been residing in Europe since her preliminary with Johnny Depp. Another source said that she seems to be carrying on with her best life. Well, that makes sense of it. Golden cases that she maintained that more protection and time should be with her 2-year-old little girl Luna Page. She feels like she gets more security while abroad, likes it there, and is more agreeable. She is dealt with well and can be more unnoticed and be with her girl. Insiders say that Heard is essentially centered around being a mother. Right now, a nearby columnist has moved toward Golden while she was going for a walk in her space, getting some information about her life. Golden answered them in Spanish, saying, "I love Spain." Such an excess of this main shows that not just has the entertainer been residing unnoticed, but at the same time, she's been dealing with learning one more language, that is Spanish. The entertainer appeared to be in a more joyful spot and even flaunted her Spanish talking abilities when the questioners were leaving, saying, "I trust your well show." And thank you. Ideal to meet you. A few sources likewise guarantee that Golden has been getting engagement propositions. One that stands apart the most is a proposition from a Saudi man who cases he'll treat her better than death could possibly do, yet Golden hasn't answered him. Yet as she needs no more dramatization in her everyday routine, she's completely satisfied with experiencing her life in Spain and is centered around satisfying herself, and her little girl Golden is incredibly centered around carrying on with a superior life. After the maligning preliminary, sources say that she has plans to reside in Spain for quite a while and isn't hoping to leave the country at any point in the near future. When gotten some information about remaining in Spain, she said, "Okay. I love residing here." On a last note, the entertainer let the questioners know that she's continued on from the preliminary dramatization and has some film projects that she's functioning on. "I continue on such is reality." The entertainer said it appears Group has put the entire of Malaning catastrophe behind her now and is building another energy for a superior life that is supportive of today. Folks, what do you honestly think Neighborhood's life? After the preliminary, let us in on your thought process in the remarks segment underneath. And if you haven't, guarantee you buy into our feed, so you miss no new updates from us.